There's absolutely no denying Matvei Michkov is an incredible talent and the only other player in the draft that is in the same tier as Connor Bedard and should logically go second overall at this year's draft. He more than likely won't. With 3 years left on his KHL contract and the war in Ukraine not looking like it will end anytime soon, Michkov will likely drop below second overall. But how far will he drop? And if he drops to the number 5, will Montreal Canadiens make him their first pick? Will they swing for the fences and take Michkov, or try for a double or triple with somebody else? In this video, I'll give you my thoughts on the situation and show you who I think the top 5 picks will be and in what order. That's right here at Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge.
Hey everybody, I'm Rick.
Here's a Kent Hughes quote from a recent press conference. This is on Michkov. I think Michkov is certainly a special case and will do our homework. He also said it's not only about him being Russian and being under contract until 2026, but also digging into what kind of player he is. And for me, I think that means, does he check all the boxes? This kind of tells me they don't want to draft another Austin Matthews. It's a guy loaded with talent, got a great shot, but no heart, no balls, no courage, not physical enough, and doesn't perform in the playoffs when the going gets rough and tough. And we see that every year, and I don't think it was any different this year. You can't teach balls, courage, and toughness. Can you teach a player how to step up in the playoffs? Yeah, I'm not really sure. They can't afford to make a mistake with this 5th pick. If for some reason Michkov doesn't come here in 3 years, or they reach for someone and he doesn't hit, it would spell disaster, for the rebuild and for future success. On the other hand, if they swing for the fences and they hit a home run with that pick, it could speed up the rebuild, right? Now, picking Michkov won't speed up the rebuild because you're not getting him for 3 years. But if he does come over in 3 years, he'll be fully developed, and I think worth the wait. I'm pretty sure about that. For Michkov, like all other potential picks for the Habs, he too has to check all of Montreal's boxes to go along with his skill set. Talent doesn't completely override everything else. Hughes was clear about that, though. I mean, he was very clear about that in his press conference after the draft lottery. Here's what I said. This was after the draft lottery, and it was during the live stream for the Game 5, the elimination game, Panthers and Leafs. This is what I said about it. Karlsson could be a Hab if Smith and Michkov could be taken before him. Personally, I think Smith is their target, and if they trade up, then they're going to get, if they can trade up just one spot, they're going to get one of Karlsson or Smith. And Michkov will not. I believe that's what they want to do. Even if it's going to be assured, yes, he'll be able to be here. It's 3 years. I don't think they want to wait that 3 years. And maybe, because I think that Hughes stressed this in his press conference after the lottery. Maybe he doesn't have that character that they're looking for. And, those boxes, maybe he doesn't have that. And they already know this a little bit. And they'll do their deeper dive. But they maybe, because they stressed, if the player doesn't check all those boxes, they're not picking him. Even if it's the best. Because to them, best player available doesn't just mean best talent. It means a lot of different things too. So I think that's where fans don't realize. I don't think that's how fans look at it. Fans look at Michkov at his talent, but what if they don't feel he's a fit? What if they think teammates don't like him? He's selfish. These are some of the things I have heard. I don't know if it's true. If those pan out to be true, they're not picking him. Russian sports news site Championat says Habs won't take Michkov. Championat is adamant that Montreal won't pick Michkov if he's available. They reference Artyom Telepin, who was the Habs scout in Russia until this past season. So it says, and everything is simple here. The Canadiens even fired a scout for Russia, and already last year they were mentioned as one of the clubs that would not draft players from our country. Michkov draft chance, 0%. Does that mean anything? Maybe, maybe not, though. Sergei Fedotov, representing the interests of SKA forward Matvei Michkov, said that Matvei will be present at the 2023 NHL draft ceremony, but it is important for him to gain a foothold at the heart of the St. Petersburg team. So this tells me he's still a risky pick because of the war in Ukraine and the mystery surrounding his father's tragic death. I mean, who knows what will be in 3 years' time. He's probably the second best talent in the draft right now behind Connor Bedard. But from what Fedotov said, seems he's going to play out the contract. So there's no having him get here early and buying him out and stuff like that. So my question to you all is, and leave me a comment in the comment section, if Anaheim, Columbus Blue Jackets, and San Jose Sharks can all pass on Michkov, if that's what happens, why can't the Habs? Yeah, I think that's a fair question. And I think that the Habs can pass on Michkov if they feel, like I said earlier, that he doesn't check all the boxes. And, GM Hughes was pretty clear about this. I feel he was clear about this in his press conference after the draft lottery. And it's on YouTube. You can go and look at that and see what you guys think about it yourselves. But they're not picking Michkov unless they're confident in those things. And I don't think it was a knock on his skill set, because obviously Michkov's skill set is pretty high. So let's get to the top 5 picks. Starting out with, this is what I think the options are for the top 5 teams. We'll start with Chicago, and then I will give you my opinion on how that they'll actually come out in the draft and who'll pick what in the top 5. All right, let's start with Chicago. I mean, I don't think there's much to try to figure there. They'll take Connor Bedard, like no doubt about that. So at the moment for Anaheim, they're expected to take Adam Fantilli. I wrote here that he's not having a great World Championships, and this could change, but I think like that was the first couple of games from what I'm reading today. Seems like he's having a good game today. And maybe that changes, right? So maybe if the Ducks don't like that performance and they do their research and they figure, yeah, we can get Michkov in 3 years, maybe they take Michkov. I can see that happening. Anaheim's a team I can see drafting Michkov. Maybe they take Carlson. Maybe they take Smith. The Blue Jackets, they've already said that they're drafting a center. So that's probably, if Fantilli is there, him, if not Carlson or Smith. I mean, unless they reach for someone else, it's always a possibility, but I kind of doubt that. There are rumors that the Sharks might take Michkov if he's there. If he's there at number 4, apparently a sports radio in San Jose, they're talking about that. They want Michkov. The fans want Michkov. But I mean, is that different? Pretty much anywhere else? Michkov is going to be a great player. I'm not disputing that. So I it's no surprise, but I could really see, for me, in the top 5, Anaheim or San Jose taking Michkov. That's my opinion. I think the Habs target is Will Smith. I think going in, the target is Will Smith at number 5, but I think they'll take Carlson if Smith is gone and he's there. And I would say the same thing for Fantilli. I think they reach only if Smith and Carlson and Fantilli are gone and they decide they're not taking Michkov, because that could be their decision, that they're left with Michkov and they're not taking him and they pass on him. So they may take Michkov if he's left to them at number 5. This I also heard they don't really want to be forced into it, but they may take him. Now, this was like a week and a half ago, and this may have already changed. They may have already started their research into him, and they may already like what they see. That's what's happening with me. I like what I see as far as his skill level and all that stuff. I don't know all those intangibles that, the boxes to check. I'm going to trust in the Habs that they're going to figure that out and make the right decision. But I'm kind of impressed with what I've seen about from Michkov and the highlights and stuff since I've done this and what I've read about him. All right, so here's how I think that it'll go from the, okay, who's the first pick, and then we start, right? So I think top 5, this is how I think it's going to go. Currently, with what talk is out there, with what I can gather up, this is what I think. So now my thoughts on this can change, obviously, as we get closer to the draft, and there could be new information. Even the draft rankings could maybe change a little bit. So we'll see as new information comes to light if it changes my opinion on anything. We're going to start with Chicago. And I think, without a doubt, and I don't think there's anybody that's watching this or not watching this that thinks Chicago's not taking Connor Bedard. It wouldn't make any sense. The only guy I could see them taking over Connor Bedard would be Michkov, to be very honest with you, unless they have a total idiot that's making the pick, and then who knows? But they'll be taking Connor Bedard, and he is a center. Next, it's Anaheim, and I think right now Anaheim's taking Adam Fantilli. I don't think there's much doubt about that right now, currently. But like I said, I could see Anaheim picking Michkov for some reason. I find they fit. It's a fit there in my mind with Michkov, but I think they want the size of Fantilli. I think he's talented enough that he's close enough, and they don't have to wait long probably for Fantilli. Columbus Blue Jackets are up next, and they have already said they want a center I think they're going to, they're looking at the centers that are here. I think they're going to lean towards the European in Leo Carlsson. He's got big size. He's got all the skill. He's playing with men. I think Leo Carlsson probably fits the bill for them. And if not, I think it'll be Will Smith. So it'll be Carlsson or Smith for the Jackets, but I'm thinking it's going to be Carlsson. Next up is the Sharks. Do they go for Michkov? Do they pick Will Smith? I really think that they're going to save Montreal the debate amongst, they're going to save them the problem of whether they take Michkov or not, because I think the Sharks are going to take Michkov. And honestly, if I'm the Sharks, I don't see why they don't have the patience to wait. And do they really want to pass up on a talent like that when probably the fan base is calling for him and all that? It's a ticket seller, and when he does hit, you're going to sell a lot of tickets. And I think they have the patience or should have it, and I think that he's going to go there. So that means, what does Montreal do? And then again, it's going to be obvious they're going to actually get their target, and their target, I think, going in was Will Smith. And they're going to end up with Will Smith. I'm very happy with that. The GM knows this guy really well. I don't think that's what's going to swing it to pick Will Smith. I think he'll impress the scouts and all that. But I think the input from Hughes, who knows him really well, coached him, knows his character, knows all those intangibles about the kid up close. I think that's going to swing them there. So I'd say, though, if Montreal moves up, because there's rumors that they might move up, I don't know if they do. I don't know if it's necessary for them to do that, right? If they decide, well, we could take Michkov, we're going to be happy with taking Michkov, then there's no need for them to move up, because they're either going to get a center or they're going to get Michkov. And why give up an asset? If they feel that they won't get Will Smith and the only way to get him is to move up into number 4, I think they'll try to do that and give up an asset, switch picks, and assure themselves of one of the centers. So my opinion after doing this video, it's kind of changed my mind a little bit on Michkov. I'm definitely more excited that if they do pick him, to see what he looks like in the NHL. So I'm at 50-50. If they pick him, it's because he fits their plans and they believe he'll be here in 3 years. If they don't, I'm good with that, because I'm confident the pick will be the guy that they need and they want, and that they'll do their due diligence to make sure of that. I'm confident in this management group until they cause me not to be. And that has not happened yet. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Till next time, peace out, y'all. And I'll see you soon. Ciao, everybody. And don't forget, leave me a comment in the comment section. Ciao.